Well, hey there, DL. And I just thought I'd bring you on today and we'd have a little chat about your experience going through the Pillar Code program. So, first of all, do you want to tell us a little about yourself and where you are?
Sure. My name's DL Walker, and I am a natural foot and ankle correction specialist, as well as an entrepreneur, a mom. I dabble in real estate. I wear many different hats in my world. And so I want to, and that's a great quality, but it's also one of my weaknesses because I don't find time for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that has led to burnout, uncertainty. Like a lot of moms or working moms, I really lost myself, and then I had illness in my family. So the last 10 years have been some of the best because I've raised a wonderful daughter, but also the most challenging that I've gone through in my life. And I really felt like I lost my mojo. So, after a number of different losses, I've just been trying to build myself back, and I really aligned to the wisdom from the philosophy of the Pillar Code. So we had a chat, and I signed up, and I'm probably going to be signing up for some maintenance because I finished about 2 weeks ago, and I find myself really missing it.
I know, it was a wonderful journey, wasn't it? It's about 3 months together. And,
Yeah.
As we go through the Pillar Code, it's generally 2 appointments a week with a couple of single sessions at the beginning, middle, and end. But how did you find yourself self-changing, or things that came out of it as you went through it, and then towards the end as well?
Definitely. I found, and for those of you who are listening on the recording right now, I underwent the Pillar Code during the spring of 2020, which has been a very difficult time in the entire world. Also in the United States, where I lived in New York City and Florida, 2 badly hit areas.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very stressful time. I have a tendency for my mind to race and get ahead of myself and get in the future. And I truly believe that the Pillar Code not only kept me sane, but allowed me to get into calmness and stillness and feel at peace. I would have to say that is the greatest gift that it was, is that it has allowed me peace. So a good example was yesterday. I had one of those technology days. So we had a big storm here, and we lost power, and then Wi-Fi was going on, it was going off. Zoom wasn't wasn't being friendly to me. I was trying to record, and I know that prior to the Pillar, I would have gone into negativity. I would have gone into hopelessness. I would have gone into, screw this. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done with this. I would go into anger, frustration, feeling sorry for myself, all of those things. And I really didn't. I just, did what I could do. I took some time to rest. I took some time to ground, and I wound up having a fairly productive day in spite of all of the technology challenges that were going on. They were just able to kind of blow off of me, where in the past I would have been triggered.
Yeah.
It could have, and there have been days where I have been triggered under the same circumstances, in tears, amongst, friends and stuff like that. So that has been the great, a really wonderful gift. And then also understanding that I can create whatever it is that I choose,
Mm-hmm.
Without mind screwing how to make that happen.
Yep.
So it takes a lot of pressure off of me to have the knowing and the confidence that I'm just making a decision, and I don't know how it's going to work out, but it is going to work out, and that's okay. And also enjoying and realizing that I hadn't been fully enjoying my life because I was too busy planning for the next thing that I was missing out on today. So I'm at peace with knowing that I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, who I'm going to be with tomorrow, or whether there's going to be a tomorrow. And just being okay with that and enjoying and balancing what I have today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some really profound realizations and epiphanies, as well as, understanding. One of the things I found most fascinating was when you would tell me that the age where something would, was triggered.
Yep.
And I was able every time to figure out, sometimes it came quicker than others, but most of them came pretty quickly. So I recall the age at which those triggers wound up occurring. And I had that, that's totally what happened. Now I get it kind of thing. And I don't know what you do when you go off the screen. But, again, afterwards, there's just a sense of peace. And I, like I said, it was fascinating. I love modalities that are simple.
Yeah.
And I think in the past, we've just complicated things so much where we have to go back and relive our past and, all this other, bring up all of these things when that sometimes is not what's necessary to heal. Sometimes there's better ways to heal that are not common knowledge in, in the areas of self-help. So, and empowerment.
I really think it, as you said, it was our autumn, your spring, but so from March onwards, you were able to ride the wave of uncertainties and the challenges with a lot more peace. And I think also sitting with the belief and the trust within yourself and that things will be okay. And as you were saying before, it's about choosing the what, just choosing the what and allowing the how to happen. You're choosing what you're wanting to have in your life and the direction and purpose, but not overthinking how the bits and pieces are going to fall into place. Just sitting with the peace and belief that that will happen. I mean, through the program, we do a fix-it list, and most things shifted, quite dramatically on your fix-it list. We do them at the beginning, we do a check-in in the middle, and at the end. And some of them actually cleared, and it was a lot around work. And I think also putting boundaries in has been one sort of big sort of light bulb moment for you.
Absolutely. And, going back to the fix-it list, one of the other things that I found was that things that I would be highly unmotivated to do, like my taxes, came a lot easier to me, that I had that motivation without that, dread.
Yeah.
And fear. It was just like, okay, I'm going to get this done. And I had the energy, because a lot of times when you really dislike doing something, you just, it just becomes a big old weight on your shoulders. Yep. So, that was key as well. And I made some profound decisions and took some profound actions in a short period of time, selling a house, getting rid of my car, getting those taxes done, getting the house in order, doing the things that I needed to get done with a better balance, and still manage to have fun.
Yeah, and I think that was a really big thing, that joy kept coming up, needing more sweetness in your life, just enjoying the moments. It's not about the destination, it's the journey as you go through, having joy as you're doing it, and letting the other stuff go that doesn't bring you joy. We all have commitments, of course, but, getting that balance so that you're enjoying yourself. You've gone through lockdown with summer, and that's challenging enough, and just trying to find the joy out of the moments and the small things, just sharing times with your daughter and, moments in your days.
Yeah. And I'd always been the kind of person where, I in fact, I would wait until I accomplished a goal in order to decide to do something. You know what I mean? It's like I had to achieve that goal in order to like buy my first apartment, or, you know, and now I realize, you know, life is too short, that, you know, if that's my desire and that's what's going to make me happy, I don't have to wait until I finish, you know, that I earn, you know, $1 million before doing that.
Yeah.
That I can, you know, get on with my life, and I don't need to sacrifice in order to become successful.
Yeah, it's really big,
Yeah.
really big point. How about the manifesting list? How did you find that? Where you take and you take time out to look at every aspect of your life, where you're sitting right now and where you're choosing to be. You know, it's taking that time out. How often do you do that? Look at every angle in your life, every aspect.
Yeah, that was really good. And, you know, financially, which has always been a stress, actually taking a look at the finances,
Yep.
and understanding where I actually was in better shape than I thought I was. And so that, you know, that gave me a little bit more confidence as well as peace,
Yep.
to actually know how much money I have down to the dime, and then taking control of those finances, which I have since done. And another area where I, in the past, and I still, you know, is not the area that I have the greatest knowledge, but I know people who do. So I call on them and then make the best decision, you know, that I feel most comfortable with. And I think a lot of people, when they are in that position, they'll just let things happen rather than take control.
Yep.
And that always, you know, that always puzzled me. Like, why, if you feel this way, then why don't you protect yourself and do what you think is right? Even if you don't know how to do it, you find somebody who will help you, you know, rather than just, you know, being being passive and letting things happen to you that you know are coming.
Yeah, well, that's like pillar 4, isn't it? The pillar of balance, you know, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, ask for help rather than always being in that resilient mode of being survival mode. And, you know, getting that balance of, yes, I can be strong and capable, but also I'm able to ask for help, or, you know, realize that you're giving too much and getting that balance back. You know, the whole program is about stepping you into more calmness, gaining greater control in your life, and overall becoming much more confident. And I think, you know, I've known you for a while anyway, but I really saw that change and transition within your life, particularly with the calmness, because then you were, when you're sitting in that place of calm, able to gain greater control and the way that you could think about things, and more confident with your choices moving forward as well.
And I think for myself too, and I believe that lack of calm was even off-putting to people that I was around. Like, it made them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, it was just kind of, I guess, a badge I wore, you know, for what, you know, whatever reason, whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I'm not somebody to shy away from my emotions. So people, you know, were very aware when I was stressed. And, you know, when I am stressed, I'm not the most pleasant, you know, like anyone else. It's, you know, it's difficult to be calm, and again, when you're dealing with the public like I do in my work now, it is, you know, you don't want to have that energy behind you. You want to have that calm and that peace and that confidence, so that people will be attracted to you know, your business and your work, so that you can achieve more in that respect. And also, like I said, in general, being happy. You know, having the confidence to, you know, speak out and have difficult conversations with people.
Yeah.
Was another, you know, another area where I was really helped by, you know, by the pillar code. Even if it didn't go the way that I was hoping that the conversation would go, at least I had it, and I didn't let myself get all upset that I was allowing, you know, someone to, you know, to have take action that I wasn't in agreement with without saying something.
I think a part of it is that you were really comfortable being in your own skin, being authentic, the genuine you, but in a calmer place. So you're still able to speak your truth, absolutely speak the truth, but not coming from a place of, stress or anger, but a place of peace and calm. And it's just you expressing the truth. And people respect that, and the more that you're in a place of peace and calm, well, then you're delivering it in that, that higher vibration energy rather than that frantic, stressy, chaos energy. How did, just changing the subject a bit, how did you find the energy sessions? So as we go through the pillar code, we sort of decode on the mind and body and look at where your blocks are sitting, where age, they stem from, that sort of thing. And then we sort of attune at the end with an energy session. And most people tend to like that. How did you find them?
I found them, I still use the techniques almost every day when I meditate. So, I'm really incorporating the work into a daily practice, which I think is really important, because like anything else, maintaining is, it's not a one and done. It's a maintenance. And if I want to maintain the level that I'm at or achieve a higher level, then when the time is right, the next steps need to be taken in order. And we're looking into that right now. What are the next steps? And it's wonderful too to have the support of PJ Ashley, the director of the Pillar Practice, who has usually about a weekly meeting or periodical check-ins with the community. To maintain that practice, where you're continuing on. You're not just okay, you're done, bye, good luck. There's there's the opportunity to take it to the next level. There's the opportunity to maintain. There's the opportunity to continue to grow. And I always found is that the more times you show up or have an opportunity to show up for a modality, the more it clicks and the more that it, stays with you, where the principles start to become what we call unconscious learned. So the more exposure, the more opportunity for exposure. And that is one of the things that I think is fantastic about the Pillar Code versus some other modalities that I have done in the past, where it was a retreat and then it was over. And maybe the recordings and that kind of thing, but I'm a person who likes to interact. I like to be present. I like to, do those things. And I don't want to listen to, 4 days of recordings, necessarily. So having them in shorter durations and being able to have the autonomy to pick and choose, things to listen to has been really, really wonderful as well. So I highly recommend it. I couldn't speak any or endorse it in any greater way than I am, because it has in fact changed my life for the better. And I am so grateful to you, Sally, and obviously to PJ and the Pillar Practice practitioners who are, helping people like myself who have been doing a lot of work throughout their 20 some odd years of self-help.
It's a really good point, and you give me goosebumps when you're talking to me, but it is all a work in progress, and it's not something that we just stop, because this is just it's a guiding of you on your own journey of healing. And we're still evolving and climbing. We're shifting and lifting and shifting and lifting and shifting and lifting. Right. And we're not stopping, because it's like going up a mountain. Well, it's like a spiral staircase, and we're just slowly evolving up there, and we're just going through. And I think another good point you made was having that community around you, because of like-minded people, so that you're keeping your energy lifted and you're growing and learning and moving and evolving with these people. And particularly in the energy that we're living in at the moment, and the transition that the whole planet's going through, I think it's really supportive and inspiring to know that there's other people on the same path as yourself and wanting the same things. And it's all about really becoming consciously connected to yourself and the world around you, and aligning that with your path, purpose and direction, with where you're choosing to go with your work and within yourself and your life. It's really cool. So, I mean, you're in North America, and I have clients in Europe and North America. How did you find the time difference doing the program?
It wasn't a problem. We were able to, you were able to accommodate to a time that was good for me. I usually prefer to do this kind of work in the evening, and that worked out for you in your morning, which is when I'm usually more productive for work. But it was me time. So, the evening worked out, just fine. And the fact that I was able to give myself that time, and set that appointment for myself to benefit myself, was also a learning experience, that that was okay to give myself that permission to take that time.
Yeah, because that's one thing I love is that with this style of work, particularly being online via Zoom, you can make it work for both parties. You find an acceptable time, and sometimes it's a weekend, sometimes it's after work, sometimes it's during the day. It's whenever it is, and it's when it suits you. So that's what I really love, for myself. I'm a mum with 4 kids working at home, and making it work on both sides. It's terrific. And I've really loved taking you through your journey of healing, and I'm really looking forward to our next step forward. And DL, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on and giving us a little testimonial about your experience through the Pillar Code program. And it has been exciting. And as I said, we've known each other for a little while, and we've both been on this awakening journey ourselves, just within our own lives and paths. But I found the program helped me so much that I became a practitioner. And now it's just been really interesting aligning with you along your journey and seeing your growth and changes. But as you said, step into that calmness. I think that's just one of the key points, because when you're in a place of calm, things just radiate towards you in a much peaceful way and grow that way.
I was just going to say, you can't put a price tag on peace.
No, particularly at this moment in this world. How important.
Yeah. It, because if the peace is not there, then your world is chaos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stress, anxiety, depression, let's just sit with the peace, sit in the now. That's the other big takeaway, wasn't it? Let's not worry about the future and get drawn back down to the past. There's nothing we can control except for right now. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for coming on and doing the testimonial, and I look forward to furthering our journey together. So have a great day, DL. I'll catch you later.
Okay. Ciao.